Good morning, students. In the previous video we observed the factors on which the resistance depends. The resistance depends on the length. Resistance is directly proportional to L and the resistance is inversely proportional to area of cross section. So finally we get equation for resistance rho L by A, where this rho is called as resistivity. This is the notation for resistivity. Now we will define what is the meaning of resistivity. Resistivity is a characteristic property of a metal. It does not depend on length. It does not depend on area of cross section. Please remember, this is very interesting. It is a constant characteristic of that particular metal. We will discuss various examples of different metals, different conductors and different alloys, and even we will discuss the resistivity of the insulators, resistivity of conductors and resistivity of insulators. You will come to know what is the meaning of resistivity. The material which is having very high resistivity means it is a insulator. The materials which are having very low value of resistivity, they are very good conductors. For example, we know copper, aluminium, silver, platinum, manganese, these are all very good conductors. These are all very good conductors. They are good conductors because their resistivity is very low. Whereas if you take the example of glass, rubber, wood, paper, these are all insulators, electric insulators, bad conductors. They do not conduct electricity at all. Like glass, rubber, wood, paper, they do not conduct electricity at all. They are insulators. They are insulators because their resistivity values are very high. Okay, before we go into the details of these resistivities, first let us define what is resistivity. Resistivity rho is constant. It is constant. Characteristic of constant characteristic of a material. This is first thing. Second thing, resistivity. Please note down, this is very important. Resistivity does not, resistivity is denoted by rho, does not depend on length or cross sectional area. Cross sectional area, it means whether length or surface area, whatever it is, it does not depend on dimensions. Dimensions means length, breadth, width, area of cross section, they are all called as dimensions. So resistivity does not depend on dimensions, it is always constant. Okay, then resistivity depends on temperature, but at ordinary temperatures resistivity is always constant. Resistivity depends on temperature. As you increase the temperature to higher and higher value, resistivity changes. So this fact you are going to learn later in 12th class. Temperature dependence of resistivity. Temperature dependence of resistivity is a very interesting topic which you are going to learn in 12th class. But in the 10th class, this is enough to know that resistivity does not depend on length or cross-sectional area does not depend on dimensions. Resistivity depends on temperature, but at ordinary temperatures, at room temperatures, resistivity is constant. Okay, resistivity is constant. Then how to define resistivity? Let us look at this equation. This is the equation. From this equation, if length of the conductor is 1 meter, if the length of the conductor is 1 meter and area of cross section of the conductor is 1 meter square, if you substitute in this equation, what do you get? Then we get rho is equal to R into meter square divided by meter, because if you take this here, from this we can write rho is equal to R A by L. Rho is equal to R A by L. So if you put A equal to 1 meter square, then it becomes R meter square divided by length 1 meter. So meter, 1 meter cancels. You are left with R. That is in ohm meter. So that's how you are going to get equal to R in ohm meter, right? So this helps us to define what is resistivity. Resistivity is equal to resistance of a conductor whose length is 1 meter and whose cross-sectional area is 1 meter square. I think you got the point from here. Resistivity is equal to resistance of a material whose length is 1 meter and area is 1 square meter. Now I can write resistivity is numerically equal to resistance of a conductor, whose length is 1 meter and whose area of cross section is 1 meter square. So if you imagine a cube of 1 meter, suppose this is a cube of 1 meter. One meter length, 1 meter height, 1 meter breadth. So its length is also 1 meter. Area is also 1 meter square. Length is 1 meter, area is 1 meter square. What is its resistance across the length? The resistance across the length of this is equal to its resistivity. So resistivity is equal to resistance of a conductor whose length is 1 meter and area of cross section is 1 meter square, and thus its volume is 1 meter cube. That's how we can remember the definition of resistivity. Very simple to remember. What is the resistivity of this? Is equal to R, because its area is 1 meter square and its length is 1 meter. So this schematic diagram, rough diagram, will help you to remember what is the definition of resistivity. Okay. Now what is the importance of resistivity? We will learn using the examples of conductors, alloys and insulators. Let us see. Okay, now let us look at some of the examples of electrical resistivities of conductors like copper, silver, aluminium, tungsten, iron, chromium, mercury, manganese. These are all good conductors because they have very small value of electrical resistivities of the order of 10 raised to minus 8 ohm meter to about 10 to the power of minus 6 ohm meter. I have written certain alloys. Constantan is one alloy, manganese is another alloy, and chromium is another alloy. These are the alloys. By proper mixing up of metals of different nature, we get a separate material. It is called as alloy. Here, so those conductors which have electrical resistivity ranging from 10 to the power of minus 8 ohm meter to 10 to the power of minus 6 ohm meter, they are all good conductors of electricity. They are all good conductors of electricity. Constant and manganese, nichrome, these are also good conductors of electricity. And these are the insulators. You see the insulators like glass, rubber, wood, diamond. Glass, rubber, wood, diamond, they do not conduct electricity at all because their electrical resistivities are of the order of 10 raised to 10 ohm meter to about 10 to the power 16 ohm meter. They are in the range of 10 raised to 10 ohm meter to 10 raised to 16 ohm meter. So these are all insulators. So those materials having the electrical resistivities ranging from 10 raised to minus 8 ohm meter to 10 raised to minus 6 ohm meter, they are good conductors of electricity because their electrical resistivity values are low. And those which are having very high values of resistivity, 10 raised to 10 ohm meter to about 10 raised to 16 ohm meter, they are clubbed as insulators. Now what is the importance of these resistivity values? Now look at the example of copper. Copper is having 1.62 into 10 raised to minus 8 ohm meter. Out of all these metals which are taken here, copper is a very good conductor because its resistivity is very low. Followed by silver, 1.8 into 10 to the power of minus 8 ohm meter. Silver is also very good conductor. Aluminium, little higher, 2.63 into 10 raised to minus 8 ohm meter. Right? Tungsten, 5.2 into 10 raised to minus 8 ohm meter. Tungsten is having little higher value of resistivity compared to these three conductors. This tungsten finds use in the filaments of electric bulbs. Why tungsten is used as a filament material for electric bulbs? The reason is it is also a very good conductor, having a medium amount of resistivity, 5.2 into 10 raised to minus 8 ohm meter. Second thing is it's having very high value of melting point. It's having very high value of melting point, nearly about 3200 degrees Celsius, 3200 or to 3250 degrees Celsius, 3200 degrees Celsius is the melting point of tungsten. That's why tungsten is used as a filament material. Another property of tungsten is that it's very strong metal. It is having very high tensile strength. It is having very high strength. That's why tungsten is used in the bulbs as a filament in the filament bulbs. Okay. Iron having higher value. Chromium, mercury, manganese, they are having higher and higher value of electrical resistivities. So usually we use copper as a good conductor being used in the wires. The wires what we use for the connectivity, for the connections of the electrical circuits, we use copper or aluminium. We do not use silver. We know what is the reason for that. Silver, although it's having good value of electrical resistivity, 1.8 less value compared to aluminium, but we do not use silver because it is a high cost metal. Therefore, after copper it is aluminium. Okay, these are the metals having resistivity in the order of 10 to the power of minus 8 ohm meter to 10 to the power of minus 6 ohm meter. Now look at these alloys. Constantan and manganene, these are the two types of alloys which are made use as the standard resistors. These are used as standard resistors. Standard resistors in the electrical circuits. We get various values of resistance like 10 ohm, 100 ohm, kilo ohms of resistance will be available, which are made up of constantan. What is constantan? Constantan is an alloy made up of copper and nickel. Copper and nickel. Copper is a very good metal having 1.62 into 10 to the power of minus 8 ohm meter. Similarly, nickel. I think I have not written about nickel. Nickel is also a very good metal. Its resistivity is little higher than tungsten. 6.8 into 10 to the power of minus 8 ohm meter. 6.8 into 10 to the power of minus 8 ohm meter. So nickel is little higher, nickel is having little higher value of resistivity, and copper is having very low value of resistivity. When these are combined, we get alloy called as constantan. The next one is manganene. Manganene is also another alloy made up of manganese, copper and nickel. In addition to copper and nickel, manganese is added. Manganese, you see, it is having 184 into 10 raised to minus 8 ohm meter. It is having a little higher value of resistivity. Means at a high value of current, their temperature rises. When the temperature rises, these alloys do not burn. These alloys are having that property, having a little higher value of resistivity, which do not oxidize and which do not burn at higher temperature. That's why these are used as the standard resistors and electric heating elements. These are also used in heater elements like in the geyser or electric iron, toasters. Wherever you see that element, the coil that you are seeing, that is made up of usually nichrome. Nichrome is another alloy which is made up of, as the name suggests, consisting of nickel, chromium, manganese and iron. Nickel, chromium, manganese and iron, which is having a 10 raised to minus 4 ohm meter or 100 into 10 raised to minus 6 ohm meter. Very high value of resistivity. So even at high temperature also, nichrome doesn't fuse, nichrome doesn't melt, nichrome doesn't burn. That's why nichrome is used as heating element. It is used as heating element in toasters or heaters or geysers, even in the electric iron. So usually the heaters are the coils made up of nichrome. The special property of these alloys is that they have high value of resistivity, and at high temperature, due to the flow of high value of current, at high temperature they do not burn. If instead of alloys, if you make use of aluminum or copper or iron coil, then what happens? Since they are having less value of resistivity, at high temperature their resistivity values change and they will oxidize and burn. Immediately they burn. Therefore, these conductors are not used as a heating elements in the heaters, in the heating coils. They are not used. Whereas these are used in the electric connecting wires, which will readily conduct the electricity because they are very good conductors. If you look at an electric oven or electric heater, you must have seen the electric heater, immersion coil, which is used to heat the water. See, inside that immersion coil, if you open it, the spoiled one, if you just check and open it, inside there is a a spring-like coil. That spring-like coil is made up of nichrome. Whereas that connecting wire which you are going to use it in the plug, the connecting wire to the plug or to the switch, that connecting wire is made up of good conductor copper. So when it is switched on, the wire doesn't get heated up. This wire doesn't get heated up, whereas the heating coil nichrome gets heated up, and thus it heats the water, and water starts increasing its temperature. The water starts becoming hot. Same thing is that of toaster, is that of heaters as well as electric iron, which we use for pressing the clothes. So the heating element is made up of nichrome, very important alloy, whereas constant and manganese are used in the standard resistors used in our laboratories. And the next one is insulators, like as I have listed here: glass, hard rubber, wood, that is dry wood or paper, and diamond. You see they are having very high value of resistivities. Okay, I think now you got enough information about the meaning of resistivity. Based on these values of resistivities, we conclude that those which are having very low value of resistivities, they are very good conductors. They readily allow the current to pass through. And those which are having very high value of resistivities, they do not allow the current to pass through at all. They are electric insulators. The gloves, usually we make use of hard rubber gloves or rubber gloves. Glass is also insulator. Diamond is also insulator. Okay, in the next video we will solve the numerical problems on Ohm's law. That will be very interesting. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.